Hi, and welcome to another rational functions video for level 2 algebra. Now we've talked about rational functions for the couple of videos and we've chatted about how to simplify them. Now we're going to move on to solving equations. So let's get into example 1. Let's solve this equation. X squared plus 2x minus 8 all divided by x squared minus x minus 2 is equal to 3. And we're going to find all solutions for x that'll make this function work. Right, well, we have this divide by x squared minus x minus 2. The first thing I'd like to do is multiply both sides by x squared minus x minus 2, and that gets rid of the divide on the bottom, so we're left with x squared plus 2x minus 8 is equal to 3 times x squared minus x minus 2. Now we're going to multiply out the brackets, so 3 times x squared, 3 times minus x, and 3 times minus 2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put all the bits on the left-hand side over to the right-hand side to get the quadratic equal to 0. So we're going to take the x squared, put it on the other side to make it a minus x squared. We're going to take the plus 2x, that goes to the other side to become a minus 2x. And the minus 8 goes to the other side and becomes a plus 8. And on the left-hand side, we're left with nothing, which is 0. So we'll just simplify the right-hand side a bit. 3x squared minus x squared leaves us with 2x squared. The minus 3x minus 2x gives us negative 5x, and the minus 6 plus 8 gives us positive 2. So we write the quadratic equation down as 2x squared minus 5x plus 2 is equal to 0. Right, well now we're going to solve the quadratic equation, and we're going to use the quadratic formula. I hope your teacher has shown you a really quick way to use the quadratic formula on your graphics calculator, because we don't want to continually use the long quadratic formula method every time we solve a quadratic equation. Right, well, the answers your calculator should give you are 0.5 and 2. There are two answers. Every quadratic has two solutions, two real roots in this example. But here's the key thing that you need to know about level 2. Even though the calculator has given us two solutions, we need to check they both work. So we're going to go back to the function and we're going to check them. So I'm going to grab my calculator and I'm going to substitute in 0.5 into this rule, x squared plus 2x minus 8 divided by x squared minus x minus 2. And yes, that works. That gives me an answer of 3. Great, that solution works. When I move on to my number 2 solution, the number 2, it doesn't work. I get an error. And I'll show you why. This part of the quadratic, x squared minus x minus 2 factorizes to x plus 1 and x minus 2. If I go and stick in 2 into here, 2 minus 2 is 0, times the x plus 1 is 0, and I'm trying to divide by 0, which doesn't work in mathematics. It's an error. So this solution is not a valid solution. So you need to clearly show the marker that you've found both solutions and you've checked them, but one of them doesn't work. Right, let's move on to example 2. We're going to solve 4 divided by x plus 2 over x squared is equal to 5. We need to add these fractions and get a common denominator first. So I'm going to take 4 over x and times the top and bottom by x. That gives me 4x over x squared plus 2 over x squared equals 5. I've got my common denominator. So now I can just go 4x plus 2 over my common denominator of x squared is equal to 5. Now, let's move on. Let's multiply both sides by x squared to get rid of the divided by x squared. That leaves me with 4x plus 2 is equal to 5 times x squared. Let's get everything over to one side and put it equal to 0 to form a quadratic equation equal to 0. So we're going to put the 4x onto the other side to make it a minus 4x, and the plus 2 becomes a minus 2. And we have a quadratic equation, 5x squared minus 4x minus 2 equal to 0. Once again, we pull out our calculator and solve it with the quadratic formula. We get two solutions, there's two real roots. But in this example, when I go and check them both, they both work. Hey, notice they don't give me exactly 5. That's because I've had to round both of them to 3 decimal places. But they're close enough to 5 to know that they are accurate. Thanks for watching.